Hello and welcome back. Welcome to day 2. This practice is a little bit faster paced, however it doesn't mean you have to make it faster paced. If you want to take it a little bit slower, then you can drop to the mat whenever you like. You can come back into child's pose. This is your practice, so make it exactly what you want it to be. I look forward to seeing you on the mat. So welcome back. Standing at the front of the mat, and just give yourself a little bit of a hip width stance, just so you feel steady on your feet, closing down the eyes and just breathing from the tips of your toes, almost like you're trying to pull that energy all the way through up to your knees. And now taking the breath a little bit further, so pulling that energy, pulling that breath from the tips of your toes all the way up to your waist. On the next inhale, let's see if we can pull the breath all the way up to the heart from the toes. And now we're going to expand a full body breath all the way from the toes, all the way up to the crown of the head. And now with that breath being a little bit deeper, let's start with our pranayama breathing, and we're going to inhale from our belly all the way up to the crown of the head on the count of 3. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, hold for 1, exhaling 2, 1, complete. And going again, inhaling belly, chest, collarbone, exhaling collarbone, chest, belly. I'm trying to expand that breath a little bit further now. So we're going to go on a count of 4. So inhaling 2, 3, 4, hold for 1, exhaling 3, 2, 1, complete, and keep going. Inhaling 2, 3, 4, hold, exhaling 3, 2, 1, and let go of the breath. Just keeping the eyes closed. Focus on that lifeline, that breath flowing through the body. And gently bring to mind anything that you'd like to let go of today. Any issue, be it physical or mental. Just let it go. Even if you just pop it aside just for 20 minutes, you can take up with it later if you wish, or you can decide how you feel later. Feeling the warmth through the toes, traveling up the legs, maybe pressing your feet that little bit firmer into the earth, bringing you up a little bit taller. Take the breath now, a little bit fuller into the chest, and maybe rolling through the shoulders and opening up the eyes. So roll through those shoulders, big round circles all the way around. And if this is uncomfortable, just look down. It just relaxes your neck a little bit more. And now bring the circles in the opposite direction. So bringing them forward, opening up shoulder blades, and then coming to center. Gentle bend in the knees, and we're going to inhale the arms all the way up, and if you can, just put your palms together at the top. Now exhale, pull down on the shoulders, and inhale, push up through the hands. Exhaling, pulling down on the shoulders and noticing the collarbones opening and the shoulder blades coming down the back. Inhaling, pushing up. And then opening the arms back out on the exhale and bringing them all the way down, again to the side waist. Just opening the legs a little bit further, putting the right arm to travel down the right leg, and with the left arm we're just going to look at the hand and inhale it all the way up as we travel our right hand down the leg. And then exhaling to come down. Inhaling to come up. Exhaling, flexing closer to the body. Let's do the other side now. So left arm just rests on the leg, looking at the right hand, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Just keeping the movement very gentle. And coming back to center. Now just clasping your hands behind you, and you may want to take the index finger just out and just pulling down, pulling the shoulder blades down, just keeping your head straight ahead. And then inhaling to look up. And just holding the breath. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling, pulling the shoulder blades away and making sure the tailbone is tucked. Exhaling to come down. And just one more time. And exhaling to come down. Beautiful. So you should be feeling a little bit looser now. And we're going to come to the front of our mat and stand either in a hip width position or with our feet together. And we're going to come into some salute to the sun, some Surya Namaskar. So pressing down through the feet, spreading the toes and standing up nice and straight, pulling the tailbone in and rolling the shoulders up, back and down. And you're going to inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, let's take a big swan dive with a flat back all the way down. Now keep a gentle bend in your knees as you're coming down. And you can bring your hands to a block or just bring them to the shins, but just hanging out here. And it doesn't matter how far you come down in your practice, because that will change each day that you practice. And we're just going to bend into the knees again and just come all the way up, all the way back through the heart, and bring the hands down by the sides. This time we're going to inhale a little bit further, so coming all the way up. Exhaling, swan dive down. And hands go onto the floor or onto the shins and into our flat back, so Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. And then exhaling, Uttanasana, so coming in on our forward fold. Let's try that one more time. So inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana, pushing out. And if your hands are on the floor, just push out with your fingers. And exhaling, coming into the knees. Now inhaling, let's bring our left leg back to the back of the mat. And just bring the knees straight down to the mat and look out to the distance in front of you. Just take a few breaths into your lunge. Always going a little bit slower on our first practice, and then putting your hands down on the floor. Now note your hands on the floor, spread the fingers wide. middle finger facing the front, and lift the back knee off the ground as you swing the front leg back to meet the back foot, bringing you into plank. A few breaths in plank, and then bring your knees, chest and chin down to the ground, elbows pointing back. Sitting up for Cobra pose, pushing the back of the feet into the ground and bringing your hands all the way into your side, and just a very mini Cobra. So lifting up, the inhale, pubic bone pushing into the mat, and just coming back down. And straight away, we're going to push back with our hands and roll over, putting our buttocks onto our heels into child's pose. So extended child's pose, forehead comes down to the mat, just spread the fingers nice and wide and just extend from the tailbone to the tips of the fingers. Next inhale brings you up to tabletop position, and just aligning in tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, tuck of the toes, inhale, lift the knees up and just gently pull the tailbone all the way up to the sky, forming your A shape, and coming into downward facing dog, keeping the knees, the nice bend to them, being this is our first one, and looking between the feet. Now look to your fingers just very quickly actually, and make sure they're still spread, and then look back, press into the hands, creating a beautiful flat back like we did in Ardha Uttanasana. And just in your own time, picking up one heel and the other heel and gently walking out through your dog. Now you can do this any way you want. You can move into the hips if it feels good, just whatever feels nice in your practice. Opening up. Then bringing the toes all the way up and pressing the heels back once more. Bend of the knees, look forward to the hands and just gently walk forward to your forward fold at the front of the mat. Uttanasana. Press into the feet. Push the earth away, reverse swan dive brings you all the way back up, and the arms come down beside you, standing nice and straight and nice and tall. Press into the toes, pull up through the knees, collarbones open, arms come down to side, and you're standing back in mountain. So once more, let's inhale, arms come up. And exhale, coming forward, all the way down into Uttanasana. Flat back, looking out to the distance, please. And hands come to floor. We're going to step back with the right foot. Now, the right foot comes all the way back, knee comes down to ground, and just push very gently into your low lunge. Pop the hands on the floor and pick up your right knee, and then bring your left foot all the way back to meet your right. Pushing energy through the back of your heels and into the front of your hand, and just making sure that your bottom is not poking up. Just if it is, just bringing it back down, but also making sure it's not too low so you're arching into your plank. Bringing your knees, chest and chin onto the ground, setting you up. Let's come straight up, pressing into the back of the toes, into Cobra pose. Pushing back and over, buttocks to heels, extended child's pose. And inhaling, coming up to tabletop, and tuck of the toes brings you up, and exhaling back into your downward facing dog. So flowing through that a little bit faster, but at the same time always keeping your eye on what your body is feeling. So if something doesn't feel right for you, then just slow it back down. Bend the knees, look forward to the hands, and try to take now one big giant step. So picking up your left foot and seeing if you can step it all the way through. And if you have shorter arms like me, you'll be pushing up on your fingers to get there. And then bringing the other foot to meet at the front of the mat, bringing you into Uttanasana, forward fold. Pressing through the feet, coming all the way back, and let's meet again in Tadasana. Arms come down, head balances over the heels. So ready to flow again, inhaling arms up, exhaling coming all the way down to the mat. Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, looking out to the distance, and then stepping the right foot all the way back to the back of the mat, and seeing if you can stay up high on the ball of the back foot as you come into your lunge. If this is uncomfortable, please put the knee down. But either way, see if you can adjust your hips so your hips are in one point of line. By doing this, we pull the front foot back and the back foot forward, and automatically our hips will just straighten up a little bit more. Now if you can, press into the front of the leg and just come up into a high lunge, bringing the arms nicely all the way up. If you need to come out of this pose and readjust, just do that. Now thumbs facing towards the back just opens up your arms slightly, and if you can, just looking up or straight ahead. Anjaneyasana. And then swing the arms all the way back down to the feet and step back into plank. From plank, see if you can bend your elbows all the way back, bringing you straight down to the ground, and come up into a cobra pose on the inhale, keeping the arms firmly tucked in to the sides and all the way down to the mat. Now your choice, you can push back into child's pose, otherwise hook the toes at the back of the mat and see on the inhale if you can just lift yourself straight up to plank. When you're in plank, just pushing all the way through the hands. Tailbone goes up to the sky, bringing you back into your downward facing dog, where we'll all meet and take a few inhales. Bend of the knees, and this time step your right foot all the way to the front of the mat, bringing your left foot to meet. Uttanasana, forward fold, bending into the knees, and come all the way back up and down through Tadasana. Ready to flow again. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, flat back coming down. And looking out to the distance. Left foot steps back, staying high on the balls of the back foot, brings you into a high lunge. Just straightening up the hips so they're in one line. On the inhale, just push into the back foot and the front foot, bringing you all the way up to Anjaneyasana, high lunge. If you can, looking up. The arms circle around and take your front foot all the way to the back to set up for plank. Bend of the arms, bring you all the way down to the mat. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, coming down. Your choice, child's pose, or tuck the toes, bring you all the way back up into plank. And then exhale, lifting the hips, and everybody meeting in downward facing dog. Take a big inhale and exhale through the mouth. Do that one more time. Letting all that energy go. Bend into the knees, look forward and step your left foot all the way to the front. Right foot meeting and hanging out here in Uttanasana. Now soft bend of the knees, just take your hands once more and just clasp them like you did at the beginning of the practice, and this time maybe bringing the non-dominant finger forward. Just bring the arms up and almost like you're trying to reach them over your head. Just opening up through the shoulder blades. You'll also feel a nice stretch coming all the way through the back of the thighs. Few breaths. And then bringing the arms back down. And what I want you to do when you're on the floor is just bring your hands in front of you. So bend into the knees as much as you need to. So if your hands do not touch the floor, just bend down and just pop your hands on the floor. Now, have a look at your left foot, because you're going to pick the right foot up and you're going to just step the right foot not too far back, but just a bit of a wider stance, and just keep looking down. While you're looking down, see if your heels can align. So if you could draw a straight line from one heel to the other heel, that's exactly what you're looking for. And you're bending really heavily into that front leg. Now push into the front leg and just come up. So looking back down again, you'll see that your heels are aligning and your torso is facing the front. Bend into the front knee and make sure the knee doesn't come over the top of your big toe, and if it does, just pull your knee back just so you can see your first and your second toe. Take your hands from your hips and just bring them all the way up to the sky. And this brings you into Virabhadrasana 1, so warrior 1. So nice, strong warrior pose. Pressing energy out from the front foot and pushing it all the way into the back foot, almost like you're trying to split the mat. Circle the arms all the way down, bend into the front leg, and we're going to step forward with the front foot and then step back and do the same with the back foot. So heels align, working out your heel alignment, pressing into the front foot and just bringing you up when you're ready into warrior 1 once more. Just check into your hips and see if you can move your left hip around a little bit more to the front of the room, and your right hip, just pull it back slightly. And then coming all the way back down, put your hands on the floor, step your back foot forward to your front foot and just hang out here once more in Uttanasana. Now I'm going to get you just to open your feet to the edges of the mat and just gently bring yourself down, and you can use your block if you did last time, or you can just lift your heels off the floor if it's a little bit more comfortable, if you've got a little bit of tightness through your legs, and coming down into Malasana. And just hanging out here, just feeling the stretch in your legs. You can put your hands together if it's in your practice and just use your forearms just to push your knees a little bit wider apart. And Malasana is very important, especially for women. as we tend to hold a lot in our hips. But this really opens things up in the hip area, and it gives us a lot of flexibility or mobility really into the joints there. And just each time you do it, just see if you can pop your heels closer and closer to the ground. And just bringing the hands down on the mat now. You're going to come into a kneeling pose. And you can use a block again to put under your buttocks if you like. And just hang out there, or if you can go a little bit further, just seeing if you can lift the thighs and just spread them out a little bit more. You may be able to come down that little bit further. You may be able to bring your buttocks on the floor. If there is any shooting pain or any feelings of discomfort through your legs, please don't come down this far. Just sitting up nice and tall. And you can use as many blocks or as many books under here as you like, just to lift you up. If you'd like to come a little bit further, just coming back nice and gently. Anybody that can come down to their forearms, absolutely do that now. And if you'd like to go further in your practice, then please just tune into your body and feel free doing that. Just going to stop here. Option to have your head up or back, however your neck is feeling this morning. And just coming back and pulling one leg out, putting your feet on the floor, shuffling forward on your mat if you need to. And just very gently bring you down one vertebra at a time. I'm going to set up just to do a couple of gentle bridge poses. So take your hands and just see if you can tickle your ankles or your heels with your hands. And if you can touch them, then that's as far in as your feet need to come in. Keeping a hip width stance and making sure your legs are nice and parallel, and bringing the pinky side of the fingers onto the mat. And you're just going to inhale, gently roll up on the inhale, taking the tailbone off the ground. Exhale, let's roll down really, really slowly, nice and gentle. Make sure your neck is nice and long on the mat and you're never bending your neck to look in. So inhaling, coming up. And exhaling, rolling back down. Let's see if we can go a little bit higher now. So press into the pinkies of the fingers as you inhale, coming up, pressing in. Keeping the neck nice and long, just look down with your eyes and watch your belly coming up and down on the breath. See if you can push into your feet a little bit more. And you might feel like your legs have a little bit of a wobble to them as the energy surges through them. And then exhale, coming back down. And if you do feel like your body wobbles a little bit, that's a beautiful release of energy. So never feel funny about wobbling. Just relax. Nice and gently. Now this time you have the option to clasp your hands underneath your body. So inhale, press into the fingers, coming up, pushing into the balls of the feet, and then connect your hands, if you want to, and roll onto the shoulder blades. So you're rolling up, keep your neck nice and long, and just with your eyes, looking down, watching the belly. Push into the feet a little bit more Bringing the hips up that a little bit more. And taking the hands down and rolling all the way down, nice and gently. Bring the hands out from the body a little bit more now and just open the feet to the width of your mat and windscreen wipe the knees, just nice and gently. And bring the feet up to center. You're going to windscreen wipe them all the way over to the left. And bring your arms out into a gentle T. Looking over to the right if it's in your practice. Close down the eyes. And if you'd like to take this a little bit further, just lift up the left foot and place it onto the right knee. And that will pull your knee down. A little bit more, just opening up the hips slightly. Breathe into that space and bring the foot back down and inhale the knees back up. Now let's try on the next side. Exhale, the knees down to the right. And you can look over to the left. And if this is enough for you, then just stay here. Otherwise, just lifting the right foot and putting it on the left knee. Just pulling the left knee down, just using your weight to organically pull the leg down. Breathe into the hip. And coming all the way back up. Adjusting the hips. And just hugging the knees into the chest. So nice big hug. Draw some gentle circles on the floor. Just pushing down on that lower back region. Just massaging into the back. And going in the opposite direction. And now you're ready to come into Shavasana, corpse pose. So setting up the corpse pose, open the legs out. Just let the feet splay open. Hands come out. Maybe 6 to 8 inches from the mat. Just push into your head to lift your shoulders, push into your heels to lift your hips, and place them down. Close down the eyes. Just feel the breath. And gently follow the breath as it travels the way through the body. Every exhalation just brings you a little bit more gently into the mat. So we do a small body scan, just observe the feet, the toes, the energy circulating through the toes, creating a little bit more warmth. Feeling the calves and the knees. Just relax and observing all the points of your body that are holding you up at the moment on the floor. and the shoulder blades. As your body relaxes a little bit more through the torso and the back. Witnessing the shoulders as they melt, ice to water, water to gas, and that sensation running all the way through the arms, through to the fingertips. And a gentle awareness now coming from your neck up to the head, relaxing the eyes, bringing a soft awareness to your mouth. As you feel a gentle soft feeling, warmth, traveling all the way through your head, and coming out from your body. And picturing a beautiful white light at the top of your head. Nice, bright, white energy of light. Bringing that energy all the way down now, through your head, down through your shoulders. As the white light comes down through your arms, out through your fingertips, down your chest, all the way down your torso, your hips, thighs, calves, ankles, and out through your toes. Bringing the breath through the body, starting to slowly wake up. Right out through the fingertips, wriggle the toes. The knees up slowly, one by one, into the chest. And with the eyes still shut, just holding the knees and pulling the calves into the chest, just giving yourself a nice tight squeeze. And then rolling over onto the side into recovery position, putting the hands under the head as a pillow. And pushing into the top hand, lifting your body up And coming to sit in a comfortable cross-legged position at the front of the mat. Hands coming to prayer. And coming back to the breath, the room, and deciding whether you want to pick up the things you let go of before we started the practice, or if they're going to be fine just to let them go a little bit more. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste. Welcome back. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time on the mat.